Are now live.
Hey. Hello, everyone. Hello. Well, this is our first episode of TLA Top Shelf. I'm with Smoke here.
All right.
We're at TP Cigar Lounge here in Matson, Illinois. We have our tequila ready here and everything. But just a little background on this before I hand it over to Smoke. So this is going to be our official, TLA's official tasting that you guys can actually attend. So right now we're just doing a private showing for our private pairing for our first episode. You have to come in here to be able to sign onto the sheet to be able to join us here. Just ask for Smoke and be able to do that. But we're going to be doing a nice pairing here. We have our bottle here. But I'm going to let Smoke introduce himself and kind of go from there.
All right. Well, I'm Smoke, the manager here at TP, and we're happy to have TLC. We're happy to have Tyler here doing a live podcast, and every other week we're going to do a live podcast. And so you'll be able to come in. You definitely have to come in here to Tobacco Plus and get on the sign-up sheet. You can't mail, you can't email, you can't call. You have to come in physically into Tobacco Plus, come in and ask for me. So today's pairing, we're doing a three-tone, which is basically a barbacoa broken down. So you got your Maduro, you got your Connecticut, and then you got your Habano to kind of smooth it all out. Wow.
So, on the tequila side of things, we're gonna be ranking Hacienda Sahuya. I probably butchered that. I'm sorry, but we're gonna be pairing it with this, and we're gonna be ranking this bottle right here. So, how much does the stick normally go for?
So this one normally goes for $14.98, which is not a bad price. We haven't looked up on our prices in ages, but this one is. I love the barbacoa, and so one reason why I want to pair this one with the tequila is that I've never really smoked a cigar. I've seen it sitting on the shelf. Other people have smoked it and said how phenomenal it is. The tequila, great. It's off the chain. So I figured it would be a good pairing. It's not a sweet tequila. This is not a sweet cigar, so let's just see how they do together.
Yeah. So what we're going to be doing is, in the topic we're going to be discussing outside of just the tequila here, which let me tell you a little bit something about the tequila. So this one is out of NAM 1511. This is around $126 for a liter of it is what I paid. I got it from Modino's here on the west side of Chicago. That's where I got it from. Right now, I'm finding it to be very agave forward, not very sweet at all. It has a nice pepper on the back end of it. But what do you think about this cigar so far?
The cigar is decent. Matter of fact, with the sweet tip on the cigar and this not being sweet at all, it kind of complements. I mean, the cigar tastes a little sweeter. This tastes a little agave.
There we go. All right. Well, yeah, I like this. I like this cigar a lot. So let me ask you this. One thing I want to get into today, it's a little, cigar education, and then, some tequila talk as well. So this is going to be more of a serious show. You guys know I love some shenanigans out there. I love some crazy stories, but, we're going to get into some actual talk here. So my question for you is, what makes a fine cigar, in your opinion?
The construction of the cigar entails it all, but the outer wrapper is going to give it all away. So whenever you go to get a cigar, once you buy a cigar, it's yours. You really want to take it out. You want to kind of squeeze it a little bit. If it feels not hard but not soft, you might hear a little crinkly noise. That's fine. That's a great cigar. As you're smoking a cigar, the ash The ash tells a whole lot. The color of the ash, when you start smoking it down, if you gotta knock the ash off, if it's something, if you're smoking a cigar, you're getting ashes all over yourself, you got a short film, which is not a very good cigar because that's just chopped up tobacco. So you always want to make sure that whenever you pick a cigar, it's a long filler cigar. You know, you can ask the tobacconist, you know, is this a long filler, is this a short filler? Stay away from short filler cigars. You also want to look at the color of the cigar. If you see any green in the cigar at all, that cigar has not been aged properly. So it's what they call young tobacco leaf. Actually, any cigar that you get usually sits in the drying room for at least a year, minimum a year. Sometimes it might be 2 years. You know, when you start getting to the really high price cigars, they've been sitting around for 5-6 years before they even roll the leaves. So that's the other thing to look for. Make sure it's not a young cigar, and then just taste. I mean, everybody's taste is a little bit different. You know, I tell people all the time, this is what I smoke. This is why I smoke it. I'm a 660 guy. I love Habanos, and so that's what I tend to gravitate towards, you know. But I like the Barber Bowl because you get all 3 different worlds. You know, most of your taste is in the wrapper. So the Barber Bowl has all 3 wrappers. Barber Bowl has Connecticut, Habano, and Maduro wrappers. So as you're smoking it, the taste kind of changes. It gets a little bit complex. You know, this one here, yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty good. I mean, I'm in the Maduro part right now, which is okay. You know, I'm waiting for the Maduro to go into the Connecticut and then the Connecticut, so I gotta smoke it down a little bit. But right now it's smoking good. But one thing I can say about 708 Maduro is we use quality leaves. We don't rush the aging part. I mean, they inspect them real good. We try to keep them totally humidified at the right temperature, at the right humidity, which is, we try to keep our humidor at 70% humidity. You know, I'm pushing Maduro again. One of the things that I was telling Tyler here is that this is a 708 Robusto. This is a sleeper cigar. If you can smoke a Maduro, this is a sleeper cigar. This cigar is one of the best cigars in the shop, but everybody kind of sleeps on it.
Nice. You know, and yeah, I'm learning from you when it comes to my cigar knowledge and everything. So, you know, when it's a nice cigar, you can tell me, hey, you know, this is the knowledge you just gave right there on the construction of the cigar, on the feel, on the look, on the coloring. I mean, that's something that I think that my viewers, you know, some of them, I know myself, I've learned something just in that 1 second. That 1 minute, 1 or 2 minutes, and you just broke that down for us. And to me, it's definitely going to be something that I'm going to be looking more for in my cigar as well. Let's be honest, I come up here and get my cigar advice from you.
Absolutely.
You know, so I'm gonna trust whatever you tell me to smoke. You know, but one thing I also want to get into was the tequila. What makes a fine tequila to me? Personally, you want to look for it to say 100% agave. So if you look on every bottle, it's going to say 100% agave. This one says it right at the top. That right there is the first sign you want to look for, because if it's not 100% agave, then you have so many different additives and so many different fillers. Now, tequila, it technically does not have to be 100% pure agave for it to be organic, for it to be a pure tequila. There is a little bit of room in there for that, but you know, when you look at your bottle, first off, you want to say it's 100% pure agave. Second, for it to be for me to say, okay, I'm even going to try this. It may sound weird, but I'm looking at the top. It may sound weird. I look at the top all the time, and I judge the top as well. If it's something that is too over the top for me, you know, it's some kind of tricky contraption, or you know, it's just a little twist off top.
Right.
You know, they tend to lower that score with me, and the bottles that I've had in that time frame typically are not great bottles that I've had. Now, it's not to say that every single bottle with a nice top where it's a cork is going to be an amazing tequila. tequila, but it does make a difference. Second off is, well, I'm sorry, I'm on number 3 right now. Number 3 is going to be the smell of it. You know, I've gotten away from judging it by the color because I've had some tequilas that are this color that are extra añejos, and I've had some darker tequilas that are, you know, just an añejo that all have been bad and all have been amazing. It just matters on, you know, when it comes, like, that's why I don't really judge on the color of it. But the smell of it, you can sit there, you can start to smell what's really in it. You can smell the agave, you can smell the vanilla, you can smell the pepper. If it's too peppery, it's too strong of a peppery smell, or when you smell it, you're smelling other things besides for something natural, you know, some kind of natural flavoring in there, like I said, a pepper, agave, cinnamon, vanilla, caramel, something of that nature. I kind of I shy away from it. If it has too strong of a vanilla smell in there, then I'm knowing, okay, they added some kind of syrup or whatever it may be in there. So I may not, you know, it may not be the best tequila to me.
Yeah.
But me personally, you know, this is also going to matter on how you know, what flavor palette you like in tequila. What I say with tequila, there's 4 main flavor palettes. There's going to be a dessert tequila, which is a sweet tequila.
Okay.
There's going to be a well-balanced tequila, which is going to be something that is just, you know, you're tasting agave, you're tasting vanilla, you're tasting pepper, you're tasting caramel, and you have the intricate notes that come into there. That right there is my favorite overall. And then you have what I call as agave forward tequila, which this one's, you know, this one's fitting to that, where it's kind of like you're drinking like straight agave. You know, kind of like you just you know, rinsed out, you just drained out the agave plant, and you just put it right into your glass, you know, and that's all you're drinking. Now that, some of those are absolutely delicious. But then you have your pepper bombs, where it's just nothing but just spiciness, and you know, it's not the bad type of spiciness, but
Good spicy.
it's the good spicy.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of like drinking a really great bourbon. And it absolutely is tasty. Now, like I said before, the well-balanced tequilas, those are what I feel makes a top shelf tequila. Something that I can taste the whole variety of tequila, of the tequila world that I've been able to find in that tequila. Now, the smell on this, I mean, what are you getting on the smell on this?
My sinuses are jacked up, so I'm just smelling tequila. But the taste is great. I mean, I can taste the agave. It's not a sweet tequila, so I might not come back to this. But then again, I mean, it depends on all what's going on too, and what kind of mood I'm in. That spicy, that just intrigued me. Oh, damn! I think I got to do that one.
Yeah.
I have a drink. I'm not a big drinker. I think I mentioned in one podcast, I had had a drink for 31 years. And so all this is kind of like brand new to me. And I wasn't a big tequila fan until Tyler introduced it to me. Speaking of which, how long have you been doing this? I mean,
So this company, well, you know, this Tequila Loves Anonymous is going on about 1 year old.
okay.
But I've been collecting tequilas, getting into tequilas for about 4 years now.
Okay.
And it started off as just like a hobby, just something that's good, just to, you know, bring over to friends or sit out back and have a nice drink and just relax, you know. And it just turned into an obsession. You know, we had a private conversation about me and my former job and how that went down, and it just seemed right to come and make this into a business, you know. Having some official tequila tastings, be able to expose more people to something that's outside of just the norms, you know. Not to put those companies down, But there are a lot of different tequilas that are better than, in my opinion, my humble opinion, that are better than the normal level of the Patrons, normal level of the Don Julios, the normal 1800s, normal Jose Cuervos. Now we're going to get into those later in the season. We're going to get to those where we're going to be bringing in the high-end version of those.
Okay.
Now that's a whole other world
Okay.
of tequila. But I wanted to expose people into, a nice, even a nice $30 bottle or a nice $40 bottle that is much better than the basic level of those.
Okay. One of the things I'm wondering too is like, there's so many different cigars out here, this and that. I mean, I smoke 708s. I work here, but I've been smoking 708s since they came out. I've been affiliated with Tobacco Plus. I was their second customer coming in the door. So I always get people asking me, well, if I buy this $50 cigar, is it better than this $10 cigar? And same thing, I'm wondering about the high-end tequilas. I mean, so maybe I could spend $125 on a bottle of tequila. Is it better than this $300 bottle of tequila?
I'll be honest with you. I just tried I had a sample of a $700 bottle today, actually, and then right after that, I had a sample of a $30 bottle. It's sad to say this, but it's not that big of a difference.
Okay.
And especially if it's quality tequila. Now, that $700 tequila is damn good. It was absolutely fucking delicious. One of the best tequilas I've ever had in my life. But the $30 bottle, I didn't completely fall off of a cliff.
Okay.
It wasn't loud. I could definitely tell the difference. Be like, okay, this is nothing compared to this. But it wasn't like, man, like I can't drink this after drinking that. And I'll be honest with you, I've had some $130 bottles that I will never touch again because I did not like them. Yeah. And I'll go out and get a bottle of $50 tequila every single time it runs out, just because it's delicious to me. So the price doesn't necessarily determine the quality of the tequila.
Okay.
Some people just price their bottle just because they want to make that much money, not because it's actually a quality product.
For the name. That's real good to know.
Yeah. So it's not, like I said, it's not going to guarantee you that that paying $200 or $300 a bottle is going to get you an amazing tequila that you'll like more than I'm not gonna name any other bottles. I'll save that for other time. Mm-hmm. But there are some great bottles out there that are $50, $60 range that some of them are just trying to get into the market. Mm-hmm. Well, I'll name one, and that's because I've named it on this show. I've named it on other shows so many other times. Luna Azul Extra Viejo. Okay. Elijah Craigberry. That bottle is only $40 a bottle right now. And that thing is absolutely delicious.
Wow.
I like that better than a lot of $100+ bottles that I've had in my life.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's phenomenal. I think that some tequila companies only price their tequila low because they're trying to enter in the market and get a lot of people to drink it in order to get more market shares, and then they go up in price. Because some quality tequilas, they can be the best tequila you ever had in your life, but if no one knows about them,
okay.
No. Let me ask you this: what are some, say, $10 sticks or below $10 sticks that people can pick up that are better than some of the best sticks that you've had, or just as good, or is it just straight in your minds, is just straight down the line, like, okay, Above this price point is always going to be a $10 stick.
You know what? And again, it's like tequila. It's the quality of the tobacco, how it's rolled. The wrapper plays a big part as far as flavor. You know, we got the no names, and that's a 708 cigar. And everybody kind of looks at it and think, oh, it's a cheap cigar. It's not a cheap cigar. We got it on sale, but it's a great cigar. I mean, if you just need a cigar to just smoke, like the other one was the Chillax. When I used to do railroad construction, I'm smoking a Chillax, which is a $4 stick. And so I started smoking them because I got tired of throwing away my $18 stick because I can't hold the cigar. So I'm tossing an $18 stick that I just fired up. Just $20 gone.
Wow.
You know, and so I started smoking the Chillax, and I'm like, this is a great cigar. This is not bad. I mean, it's a cigar. It's no frills. I mean, I want to smoke. So, again, price doesn't matter. There was a cigar by Lars T. I'll never forget. It was called a Happy Cuba, and this is back in 1983. It was $49 a stick.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And so I was given one, and I'll never forget. I was at this picnic, and I'm playing with the little kids and stuff, and a couple of little girls were these little girls are like 4 or 5 years old. They're trying to teach me how to do cartwheels. So I'm looking like a bumbling idiot, you know. And I had the Happy Cuba, and I walked away from them, and I took it out, and I fired it up, and I said, yo, y'all get your kids. Get your kids.
Right.
I walked way across the field. The cigar was phenomenal. And I'm like, I would pay for this. I would definitely buy this one again, but it has to be a special occasion. So there's certain cigars that I'll spend big money on.
Right.
But it's got to be for a special occasion. It's not an everyday stick, you know. But then, like I said, the Chillax, that's an everyday stick. You know, and it's an inexpensive cigar, but it's a quality cigar. They're rolled really well, and no, I'm not gonna say that. It's a great cigar. That's all I can tell you, you know. But it's an inexpensive cigar, and so for me, dealing with cigars, it's the quality of the cigar, how the cigar is made, the construction. Looking at it just plays a real important part.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain cigars that cost big money. There's like, I wouldn't spend money on that bad boy. You could even give me one of those. And one of them is, I'm gonna put it out there. I had a Cuban Cohiba Pacific, and everybody was ranting and raving about it. And I was sitting in here working the bar with these guys. These guys had a business meeting and stuff, and so they had it here, and they had food and everything, and they're drinking. And I'm sitting there smoking it, and I got about a third of the way down. I let it go out, because you never put a cigar out. I let it go out. I went around and got me a 708 Maduro. And I was more satisfied with that than that $100 stick. And I'm like, I'm glad I didn't pay for this. You know. So again, it's just everybody has their own personal taste. I can recommend certain cigars to you, but bottom line, you're going by my taste.
Right.
You know, there's a couple of cigars that people ask me, well, you know, recommend something for me. I'll tell them this one's in my top 5. Or, you know, I like the cigars. I smoke it on a pretty regular basis. And I'll tell you in a heartbeat, if you come in here asking me for recommendations and stuff, I'm not going to sell you anything I wouldn't smoke. And I've told people that's garbage.
Yeah.
You know, and they tell me thank you for your honesty. You know, so.
Yeah. Hey, completely is understandable and completely appreciated. You know, because when I come in here, I don't want to smoke anything that you're not gonna smoke. You know, and on that same side, when it comes to tequila, like I say the same thing to people. It's like, okay, I can tell you that this tequila is absolutely phenomenal to me. Actually, for example, about a month back, I was doing a little private tasting at one of my neighbor's house, and I had a $35 bottle on the table, and I brought out a $120 bottle on the table. And I'm not going to name the names of them, but I would say 90% of the people love that $35 bottle of tequila more than they love the $120 bottle of tequila.
Wow.
and it was just, the tequila was just clean, it was refreshing, there was no bite to it, and of course the price influence as well, because if you can get this high, you can get this quality of tequila for $30, $35, and it doesn't taste that much, you're tasting just as good as this $120 bottle of tequila. You're gonna get there. But we're at the point I want to explain the top shelf ranking. So, in order for something to be in your top shelf, to be the highlight of your humidor, what is, and I know you explained what's a quality cigar and everything, but what would you say that has to be the perfect package? Like the coloring of the cigar, the wrap of the cigar, everything like that, what would make that perfect package to say this is going to enter your top 5?
Wow. So that probably would, I don't want to name off cigar manufacturers, but except for 708, because this is where we're at. This is what we push.
Yeah.
But 708 is definitely a Barbacoa box press 6x60. It's probably in my top 5. Just the way the construction of the cigar, just the way the cigar tastes, the complexities of the cigar. We got a new one that we're going to be releasing pretty soon. It's the Lancero, which is a long, thin cigar. And this is the size cigar that I like. It looks good in my hand. It doesn't look too feminine and stuff. But I had a Lancero in the car, ran out of cigars. I'm on my way home, and I lit this thing up because I just wanted to puff on something. I like to drive and smoke. Yeah. This thing was phenomenal. And it's a Connecticut. And I was like, I don't even like Connecticut. I'm a Habano guy.
Right.
Habano, Maduro, I gotta have them, taste matters a whole lot too. I don't need a sweet cigar, but I don't want something too soury. You know what, if I could sniff a cigar and I could smell dirt, bullshit, good, that's a good cigar. That's a good cigar, because that's all a cigar basically is dirt and bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. So, does the packaging matter to you? The presentation of the stick?
No, not really. Not really. I think a lot of times, especially like the cigars that are in the plastic tubes and stuff, I'm not paying for that tube because I'm gonna take the cigar out and throw it away. I just spent an extra $4 for a piece of plastic that I'm gonna throw away. I'm not gonna save it and put dimes in it and all that other bull, So packaging, the look of the cigar is the main thing. It can be in some plain cellophane where I can look at it, and that's one of the things I need to talk about too, is a lot of you guys don't realize that cellophane that these cigars are wrapped in is breathable. And so if you got on a lot of cologne, or you put your cigars, say at the house, by something that's smelling really bad, that smell's gonna go in your cigar, change the whole taste of your cigar.
Oh wow.
So you gotta be careful about that. And again, I just had a guy come in and talk about, well, how do you keep these cigars and stuff? He's like, oh, I'll put it in the refrigerator. Do not put your cigars in the refrigerator. The refrigerator sucks the moisture out of everything.
Yeah.
It'll suck the moisture right out of your cigars, and now you miss the experience of smoking, because this is an experience. To me, it is.
Yeah.
Every time I sit up and I light a cigar, especially if I'm relaxing, it's an experience, and I want to experience the whole thing. So presentation to me really doesn't mean a whole lot. I need to look at that cigar. Matter of fact, I would rather them not be wrapped in cellophane, so I can really get a good look at them. The other thing too, when I was telling you about once you buy your cigar, you take it out the cellophane and look at it. If you see white spots on your cigar, that's okay. Just wipe it off. If you see greenish blue spots on your cigar, do not smoke them. That will make you sick as a dog. The cigar has got mold. That's basically mold.
Yeah, that don't sound good at all. Well, when it comes to tequila, I'll be honest with you, the presentation does matter to me, especially when it comes to Top Shelf, because I like an intricate box. I like a box that swings open. I like a great looking bottle. I like a cork top. I like, just something that is not over the top fancy, like some contraption or whatever. I avoid those tequilas because I feel like every single one I've had of those, they end up having like fillers in there or other chemicals, or it's just the tequila was, you could just tell they just had a ton of syrup dumped into it. And then the top, the top is going to matter. I don't like twist tops when it comes to something that's going to be on my top shelf. So as we're ranking this tequila, I don't like this. I mean,
Okay.
I don't like that it has to do this. Me personally, I feel like if I'm paying $120 for a bottle of tequila, give me a cork top.
Absolutely.
Give me something I can just pop off. Not something that I can get on a $10 bottle of tequila. I want the box to look nice. I want the bottle to look nice, because if it's on the top shelf of my bar, it's a presentation piece. I want someone to come up and say, "Oh, this is amazing. This looks beautiful. What is this?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
know you want some. I know you want to taste some. I know you want to pour." I make sure no one else is around, or it's just myself and that individual. Okay, let's go to the next step. Pull out the nice fine crystal, nice glass like this. Not pulling out any plastic cups, not pulling out any,
Right.
anything. Gotta pull out, thimble, nothing plastic, nice crystal.
And I think that's the difference between cigars and tequila or any liquor, is that my presentation is going to be my humidor.
Mm-hmm.
I got a smoking humidor. I mean, it's beautiful. So to get a real fancy boxes, because I got these cigars in it and stuff, I think that the manufacturer's jacking up the price a little bit more. You got to pay for that box, And I'm gonna take the cigars out of the box and put it in my beautiful humidor, and everybody's over there wondering, ooh, man, that's a nice humidor. And I got a simple rule for my humidor. It's a big humidor. You can have anything in a glass top, but if you open those doors, you're gonna pay the price.
Right.
That's my private stash.
Yeah.
Inside those two doors right there.
Yeah. And with me, with tequila, don't touch anything without my permission. It's on the top of the bar. Don't you dare.
Mm-hmm.
You will get kicked out of my house, and you will be on the list.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone that's watching that knows me personally knows what the list is.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just say it here. It means you're not getting any of the good shit for a while. Till you start to act right.
Yeah.
So personally on this one, so let me ask you this, and I'll ask our esteemed camerawoman back there. Would this make your top shelf?
No. And being honest, it's good, but there's nothing really drawing me to it to say, man, you know what? I really like this. I mean, if I was at somebody's house and they poured me some, I wouldn't turn it down.
Right.
But, no.
I have to agree. It wouldn't make my top shelf either, and it's for the same reason. It just doesn't stick out. What's the name of the bottle?
This is Hacienda Sahoya.
No, Sahoya. He's not made the list. He's not made the list.
Not the top shelf.
At the top
Not
shelf.
the top shelf.
But the guests coming over?
Yeah, you can bring a bottle. Yeah.
Yeah. To me personally, it's not making my top shelf either. The bottle is beautiful. I love the weight of the bottle. The tequila is good. It is not top shelf great. And my standards top shelf, they're up here. Now, would it be something that I would just put out for guests to taste? If it was more than 6 people there, no, it's not coming out for more than 6 people. If it is 6 or less, I'm bringing this out before I bring out something that's on the top shelf.
Okay.
This would be This is going to be premium in my book. It is good enough to be premium in my book, but it's not good enough to be top shelf.
So this is like for maybe you and 2 or 3 other guys sitting around a fire pit smoking cigars.
Well, this would be me and 5, 6 other guys.
Okay.
You know, me, 2 or 3 other guys. I may sneak out the top
The
shelf.
exclusive stuff,
Okay.
right?
Exactly. I may sneak out the Código 1530 Encore edition for that, which you had on our first on the lost episode of our recording. You know, that doesn't come out unless it's only myself, one other person, 2, 3 other people. Yeah, and there's some other bottles on there, and we'll get to that, you know, here in the near future. But sorry guys, this does not make the top shelf. It's a damn good tequila. I recommend it, but does not make TLA Top Shelf. Yeah. So.
And I call it TLC. Excuse me, guys.
Let me get it.
TLA.
Hey, I don't mind getting as big as TLC. You know?
Okay.
Hey, was it ain't too proud to beg?
Yes, sir.
You know, but yeah, do you have any parting words?
Whatever's bothering you, whatever's going on, sit down, have a cigar. It'll work itself out.
There we go. Well, you know, this is the first episode of TLA Top Shelf. Unfortunately, this does not make the top shelf, but you know, if you guys want to come in here and join us any other time, we'll put out the details. I know the next show we're going to have guests here, and you know, we'll open up to more people.
Absolutely.
And then we're gonna do our little private tasting if we have enough time. We're gonna have some other bottles to do a private tasting of. So that's a part of coming here, and that's part of the package of coming in here. We're only gonna talk about 1 bottle on camera, but we usually have 3 or whatever other bottles that's behind cameras. That's off camera that we're gonna do a tasting of, and have some fun. We're gonna finish our sticks, have some conversation, and but. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us. You know, for myself, for Unc Smoke, and our camera woman, we appreciate you, and we love you. Have a good night.
Good night.
Press the X.